Hey y'all, welcome back to episode 4 of Niyah News, the podcast. Period. So let's hop straight into it, right? Y'all know on my podcast, I like to start off with my current faves. What am I reading? What am I watching? What am I eating? For what I'm watching right now, y'all, I'm a Netflix girly. I stay on Netflix, and I'm watching Law and Order. I finally finished Rosalie and Al's, and I'm watching Law and Order, not SVU though. The Law and Order that got like the homicide episodes on Netflix. They got 2 seasons on there, so I've been enjoying that because I've never seen this. Well, I've never seen these Law and Order episodes. I've only ever watched SVU. So it's been interesting. And just to give y'all some context, I do love a little propaganda show with a homicide every episode. Now, I'm not going to say that it don't have my anxiety raised at times, but for some reason, those are my comfort shows. So, yeah, I'm currently watching Law and Order, currently reading a book called Between Us on Wattpad. It's a slow burn book, but I'm liking it. It's by this author. Her name is Ash Wrights. I'll put it in like on the screen for y'all to see. But yeah, currently reading that, enjoying the book, watching my show. And for right now, what I'm eating, I've been kind of gone off the sea salt Miss Vicky's kettle chips lately. It ain't too good. And I already do like a kettle chip. Like before this, I was kind of on like a jalapeno Miss Vicky's chip run. But right now, I'm really feeling the sea salt. So we're going with the sea salt chips right now. Let's hop straight into it. For pop culture, I wanted to talk about today that, okay, rappers, specifically the rap girlies, and how they originally come out with a certain content, like, or they come into the game or their first viral song has a certain content to it, and then when they get a man, it shifts completely. So, starting this off, I do understand that rap is an art form. Rap is an art form, rap is a music form, and it's an integral part of hip hop, right? And I know that hip hop is based around storytelling. Saying that to say this, I know that raps typically are supposed to reflect your life. Although we know that's not always true for a lot of rappers, I know that that's the foundation of what they're doing in their artistry, right? Saying that to say this, if you came into the industry and your songs was originally about just being yourself, being single or being a pimp or being, and I don't even like using the word pimp because that's really a sex trafficker, but just being like player, should I say. You being a player, you doing what you want to do, you being a boss, you building your own empire, you following your dreams, you determining how you want to live your life, right? If that's what the basis of your raps was, and then all of a sudden when you get a boyfriend, it's just my man, my man, my man, my man, my man, my man. We tired of it, baby. We tired. Specifically me, I'm tired of it. I don't want to keep hearing that. And I think for me, really what sparked that is like Gorilla's run. You came out, you was FREE. Nigga free. And now every song is my man, my man, my man, my man. So it's just my man, my man, my man on every feature, right? And it's getting to a point where it's like, okay, I don't have an issue with somebody loving their man out loud. If that's where you at in your life right now, and you went from a place where you was FREE, you didn't want a man, you didn't want them type of men around you, you didn't want to do it, you was a player at a point in time, but now you're in a different place. I'm not saying that artists are not allowed to grow, but I think it gets to a point where it kind of becomes obnoxious and it just feels too like you overly doing it, especially. I think another thing is like women, we have to be especially careful in bringing men in our brands because they can very much so easily dilute it. They can very much so easily embarrass you, and they can taint what you have going on or overpower it with negativity. So like an example, as I gave the example with Glorilla, right? Where a lot of her music has turned into my man this brand and that. It also brings to the forefront that he was just in a post-game interview, before a game interview, whatever interview, sports interview. Y'all know I'm not the best with the sports terms. However, he was in an interview literally just saying how he's ready to go to sleep early because you get on his nerves so bad. But every time you want to get on a mic and say, my man, my man, my man, and the one time he had to really say something nice about you, to not even say nothing about you at all, he said you get on his nerves. Hey, baby, let's go ahead and get back to our roots. Let's get back to our roots because I understand everybody's not living their raps. Everybody is not living what they claim it. And like I said, everybody is allowed to grow. But it just gets to a point, too, where, like, the music does not always have to be my man, my man, my man. And especially, which I do feel like the rap girlies, which I love rap girlies. Let me preface with that. I do love rap girlies. I love rap girlies music. I love the way I'm able to connect to the rap girlies too. I never understand the girlies who's like, I don't like rap girls. Like, I only want to hear listen to rap boys. Why would I want to listen to? I'm not living how the boys is living. And also too, I don't want to hear all that rah rah bang bang all the time. Sometimes I want to hear a girly flow. Like, that's why Megan, that's my girly, because Megan and Mona Leo, y'all, I love listening to a girly get on a track and really talk her shit. It's nothing better than it. It really is. It's nothing better. It's literally nothing better for me to listen to. So with that being said, I just want to preface with I love them. I appreciate their music. You know what I'm saying? And I will say this. I feel like Mona Leo still does it in a very tasteful way. She will mention her wedding. She will mention her man. She will mention like appreciation for love and all of those type of things. But she still sticks to the brand. She still is rough and gritty on the song. She's still staying true to herself. She's still talking about real life stuff, and she's still expanding her artistry. And I'm not just saying that just to like put Glow down or anything. I'm just giving that as an example. Like, I want the rap girlies to remain themselves, even in spite of or in the midst of being with a man. Let's stop changing the whole brand to my man, my man, my man, my man. We need a balance in this. You're allowed to make a song, and I'm not even saying that you might want to include many songs about it on your album or anything of that nature, or like your project. But like, let's get back to the basics. Let's calm this down. Y'all, another thing is this hantavirus. Please, my God, today, why would they ever let them people off of that cruise ship? And it's just like, we are just in. Have you ever been in a situation where it's like, you in the situation, a problem arises, and you already know that you're not really well equipped, whoever's in charge to handle the situation ain't well equipped to handle it. I feel like right now, that's where we at right now. And I hate that feeling where it feels like you on a sinking ship. I'm not hopeless. I do believe that everything is okay, but just knowing how many people died in the COVID-19 pandemic, and knowing under the administration we in right now, they have already shown time and time again how much they do not care about people and will not take preventative measures in order to really save as many Americans as they can, or just people period around the world. Like, why are we not a part of the World Health Organization anymore? We're literally losing the plot. But I digress. I'm trying to stay hopeful. I hope everything works out, but I'm not gonna lie to y'all. That hantavirus has literally been in the back of my mind pretty much all week. Like, just reading the stories has been like, what do you mean 2 of them's back in Georgia? What do you mean one of the Americans is already back in Virginia and y'all quarantining them in the hospital? Like, this is just, we've got to get this under control. Lesson of the week. Let's get to the lesson of the week. My lesson of the week this week has been that it's okay for me to change my mind. I pride myself on being a woman of my word, and me and my therapist had a really good conversation today where she reminded me that being a woman of your word means using your words. And I'm allowed to change my mind. And I feel like at times I be feeling like once I agree to something or say I'm going to do something, I have to do it. And many times that is true. Like, it's okay to follow through, especially when I'm talking about my goals or when I'm talking about something that I'm going to show up for somebody for, and especially like if it's their big day. I don't play about birthdays. I'm not going to play about a graduation. I'm not going to play about anything serious going on in your life, your accomplishments, or even if you need me, I'm there. But I do think I have to start giving myself more grace, and it's okay for me to want to change my mind. It's okay for me to say, hey, I actually may not have the time to be able to do this anymore, or I actually may not want to even do this anymore. And especially if the terms and the conditions change in the situation, I'm also allowed to change my answer. If something comes about and I no longer want to do it, I'm allowed to do that. And I think my biggest thing is just making sure I give myself the grace to do so, because sometimes I be thinking, because like I said, I am really intentional about being a woman of my word, but I treat every situation like it's a contract, and I do have to give myself more grace in the fact that I'm human, not a robot. But y'all, I ain't gonna lie, I really run a very tight and strict schedule in the way I run my life, so it's like, gotta calm down, gotta remember the fact that I'm human, gotta give myself grace, and gotta realize that as long as I communicate with people and let them know that, hey, things have changed, that's enough. That's enough. That's still a value. And also too, sometimes when I feel anxiety, I start to feel like as if I have to control the way a situation is perceived, or the way a situation has its impact. But I can't control that. I can't control the way people feel. I can't control the way people take things. All I can ensure is that I show up genuinely, and I show up with the right intent, and also that I communicate, and I communicate properly. I can only control me. I can't control them, but I feel like as long as I approach the situation with love, I will get love back. So yes, that's what I'm focusing on this week. As the lesson for me this week is to remember that I can change my mind and I'm allowed to do so. Being a woman of your word does not mean that you can't change your words. You're allowed to change, you're allowed to grow, and I'm always allowed to accommodate myself. So just remembering that. I'm very excited, y'all. We are on episode 4. It feels like the weeks are just rolling. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I cannot wait to talk to y'all next week. I will see y'all later.